Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Shadowed City podcast. I am your host, Larry. We'll be having another one later today, going over TKO and also CLPW's first shows for Ignition and Legacy, the results of them, with the other GM of Ignition and the other GM of Legacy and the owner, Mr. Aaron James. And we'll wait on Long, the owner, for TKO later. Stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody is having a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. And we got a few shows to go over today. I'm very excited, and I hope you all are as well. We're going to go over IPW, WCCW, and GEW Fight Club. I'm tagging the owners right now. And check out here one day. But it's right. That's off the show with Riley the Ripper walking out victorious. Evil Johnny versus MXG with Evil Johnny walking out victorious. Mixed gender tag match. Ivy Lowe and AJ versus Benjamin Ritchie and Psychosis with Ivy Lowe and AJ walking out victorious. Oh, Mr. IPW is here.
Hello. Up, man? What's up?
I was just literally going over your show, so I invited you in case you wanted to go over it with me and see if you wanted to go for your thoughts.
Absolutely, man. I got a little time on me. What's up, man? You know, had my house show today, man. It was fireworks, man. But when is it not fireworks? You know?
Very good stuff. I'm always excited for an IPW house show, and your resurgence came about not too long ago, and you've still been going ever since.
Yeah, man. I mean, IPW is it's a foundation, man. You know, it's like you start somewhere with it, you take off with it, and I feel like, man, a show with that kind of gratitude, man, just can't let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, indeed.
Too much stock and too much time invested into it, you know.
And you take your time to build it, and you've built quite a few matches as of late, and different moments have been made as of late, especially on this house show.
Oh, for real. Hey, which one was your favorite?
Of the matches?
Yeah, which one you like the most?
Ooh, so that's kind of a toss-up between the Tyson Storm and AJ Woods U.S. title match and the BMF Championship main event. I would have to say the U.S. title was my favorite of the night.
Absolutely, man. Tyson finishing his story, man, I felt like it had to happen, you know.
And this is Tyson's first title in IPW, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, man, he's been chasing it, man, for a minute. You know, he put in the work, and I gave him what he finally got, man. And congrats to him, man. And the sky's the limit for Storm.
I can't wait to see who will step up to him next and see how his title reign will go going forward.
Well, man, if I had to make me a pick right now, I would say somebody like Ace Green. Ace Green has been just on a different level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he came up short in the Fatal 4-Way, man, but let's not overlook what he's done. You know, he came in here, he defeated Ace the Kid. Both of them guys were newcomers. He even defeated Tyson Storm 2 house shows ago. So I felt like that opened my eyes up, and that opened up a lot of guys around the universe of who he really is, you know.
Or that Showtime Shad would be a great pick as well.
Shad, man, Shad was on so much of a streak, man. I told him, man, he can go ahead and go to the Universal title picture.
Ooh, that
Man
would be
has
good for
won
him.
like 6 matches in a row, and not we make it 7 now because he won a fatal 4-way. How he does it, man, I don't know.
He'll be back shortly.
I think Shad came on the rise when he defeated C.J. Frost in back-to-back shows. That kind of just
Okay.
made me be like, okay, who the hell is this guy? And like, we can go some places.
Oh, most definitely. And he's part of the faction Homicide.
Yeah, Homicide had their ups and downs. You know, you dig into the universe a little bit, you'll see how people feel about Pat G. I think it's funny.
Pat G is hated, but he is a talent like no other. That is a fact.
You throw Pat G in there with anybody, man, you're gonna get a 5-star match out of this shit. You know,
He faced Eddie Walker on this house show too.
that kind of guy, man. Eddie Walker and Pat G threw the house down, man. And I feel like Eddie Walker, man. Eddie Walker can somehow. I feel like Eddie Walker's time is coming, man. He's got a place in the European Championship division, and I really think that he can make the most of it soon.
Hey, he's always willing to earn opportunities. Titles or not, he looks for one thing: blood and pain, and looking to inflict misery.
Hey, as an IPW fan, how can you not like Eddie Walker? You know what I'm saying?
He has definitely been grateful of the opportunities he has been given, and he's looking to showcase as much as he can.
Absolutely.
Another person that showed out tonight was Haku in that 4-way.
Oh man, Haku. I'm proud of her. She went from just being just some ring girl, and just to lacing up her boots and actually joining Homicide, as a wrestler. And she took on some heavy duties. Like prime example, in the new era of last year, I asked her to compete at one of IPW's biggest PLEs against Kaiva Frost in front of thousands of people. But you know how that goes. Kaiva Frost is the veteran; she's gonna win. But everybody found out who Haku was that night.
And the Amazon is another one that's also been showcasing her skills.
The Amazon, to me, I feel like is an IPW icon. I feel like she's known well enough around IPW. It's almost like a Rhea Ripley kind of feel. No matter when she comes out, everybody's gonna drop what they're doing and watch her wrestle. And not only that, she came back to the show, and dog, she's like on a 3-fight win streak.
Incredible.
So you just be like, okay, what do you do next? Do you call out Adrian Blackwell? Do you send another message by beating somebody else? You just be like, okay, what's next?
What is next for her?
It's a lot I can do. But I'm not quite. I'm there yet, but also I can't take away anything that Britt Graves has done. I can't take away anything that Rose Wilson, Taylor Griffin, all of those women that want a shot at Adrian Blackwell and Kaiva Frost. But at the end of the day, the Amazon has came back. She's won matches. She's won them in dominant form, back to her usual self. So you just be like, okay, I need to see more, but I'm convinced.
Yes, agreed. And Riley versus Reina was a good one.
Man, you know me. One thing I can say about Riley, I've had Riley for a year now. Riley is by far one of my favorites. She doesn't talk much, but I see 110%. I mean, she leave those creepy notes on my desk sometimes. Uh, all the other stuff, she terrorized the locker room sometimes. Crazy mentality. But one thing about Riley, she is going to give you a show. And if anybody missed the Riley versus Raina show, match, I highly suggest, go
Hmm.
watch it. I
That was
like.
the opener too against Reina. That's also been improving here.
I feel like those two. I feel like, and you know what's funny, man? I feel like we need to see those two in the ring again. I feel like they need to work each other again. Riley's a bit of a veteran. Raina's a bit of new, but she's not new to wrestling. So when you had those two matched up, you got what you asked for, a good match.
Most indeed. And you've been doing a lot of special guest referee matches lately. What is this supposed to be lead to? I've noticed that you've been putting in special guest refs a lot lately.
Um, you see, I'm not sure if the universe is familiar with Shinjo, man. I love Shinjo. Shinjo would do anything to make him a quick buck. Shinjo is currently on the injured reserve list right now. He wanted the ref. And then I got this old guy on my roster, blind man. He's
That
always
guy.
he's always so happy to have, like, he's always so full of joy, man. I just told him one day, I was like, "Hey, blind man, hey, you want to make you $1,000 tonight, man? Go ref a match, man." I love that guy, man, and he loved the referee shirt I gave him. I don't know why he cut the sleeves off to show his guns off like he's been working out or some shit.
You didn't give him the razor, did you?
Oh no, all I saw was he was like, "Hey Teddy G, how I look in my shirt?" I was like, I see you cut your sleeves off. And you want to show you've been lifting. You want to show your cuts off and all that other stuff. So, um, that's that, man.
How about Mr. Evil Johnny, who had a great showcase against MXG?
Evil Johnny, man. I love Evil Johnny, man. Evil Johnny is also an up and comer in the United States Championship division, and I think it's only a matter of time before he puts himself together. He's going through some guys, and that United States Championship division is really, really stacked. Like, if I go through the guys that are in that division, man, it'll blow your mind. Like, I'm not sure if Andre's still going. Andre Robinson's still there. You got Tyson Storm, who's the king, who's the champion. You got Derek Marshall. You got SJG. You got Evil Johnny. You got Ace Green. AJ Woods, I want to say, has left that division in good hands.
You'd be surprised after I clean it.
Well, we got a new champion tonight in Tyson Storm, and I have a feeling that he has some great contenders that are looking his way now, where he is basically a target.
Absolutely, man. I want to say his next guy is more than likely will be Ace Green, or will be probably the big dog again. You talking about two guys, who you got Ace Green, who is literally Captain Charisma in the ring. Then you got Andre, man, who's who's just gifted all around in the ring. You got, those are two guys I think that are just a dime a dozen. But you never know, man. I could get somebody brand new, man. Like, prime example, Black Force. I'm getting this new guy, Black Force.
They are so good.
He comes in and make his mark. Will he enter the United States Championship division? Will he enter the European Championship division? Okada is back. Where will he go? You got a lot of stuff to weigh.
Indeed, indeed. And you also have your current BMF champion, Damian Briggs, running roughshod through everybody.
I think Damian Briggs is finding himself, man. But my thing with Damian Briggs, you know something? And this is real. I'm seeing the same things in Damian Briggs that I saw in Andre when Andre first got here. Here's what you see. Here's what you have. You got a guy who's just running rampant through everybody. But I have a little but there. When it's time for you to go get the big goals, like something is in your way. something's in your way. Like prime example, he went up against Icon King for the Universal Championship. Came up short. He fought Jack Graves for the World Heavyweight Championship. He came up short. Had a third opportunity at the last PLE of 2024 in a triple threat that was, unfortunately spoiled by CJ Frost because he cashed in his money in the bank. Came up short there. So you just think about it and you just be like, okay, now he's in the World Heavyweight Championship division. Again, he just lost to Jack Graves this year for the World Heavyweight Championship. But I still think he's a strong number one contender because he knocked off Primetime JoJo, who's perhaps my most winningest superstar in IPW history. And he defended that BMF title against John Robb and Buster Anderson, which I think is damn near impossible to do.
And JoJo is a former member of their group, the Wolfpack.
Absolutely, man. I talked to JoJo, but JoJo said he's gonna start his own thing, man. He said he's bringing the show stealers out. As a matter of fact, he was talking to me about recruiting the Amazon. He was talking about recruiting a whole bunch of other guys. So you never know where he's headed. I heard he was talking to the Gravediggers some. He's cooking something. So us as an audience to just be like, okay, what do you do now?
Most indeed. Welcome, Daryl Williams of Hostility. And also, going forward, when can we expect another house show or even a PLE from IPW?
I'm gonna try. I try to push the house shows out every week. I'm still working on episode 3. Episode 3 is expected to just blow everybody out of the roof. I got a couple of guys who are gonna address the media. Got a couple of bangers loaded up. At this rate, I'm contemplating putting the BMF belt on the line in episode 3. Because if you're gonna hold a BMF belt, you got to be the baddest man on the planet. Baddest man on the planet defend his belt every once a week, twice a week. If he has to.
Seems like the U.S. title is like that as well for IPW as of late.
Absolutely, man. You got to be a fighting champion. As a United States and European champion, you got to prove to me that you are a fighting champion. And if you're a fighting champion, like AJ and Big Lou was, Damian Briggs, and like all those other guys who were in that championship division, they proved that they were fighting champions, and you see where they are now. They're in the bigger divisions where they belong. I'm gonna see how AJ Woods fares in that Universal title picture. He's in there with that's a different division. You're in there with JoJo, you're in there with Rob Anderson, you're in there with Showtime Shad, Big Lou. These are different names now. This ain't the U.S. title division no more. CJ Frost is the champion. You never know who you got to go against.
Most indeed. Is there anything you want to tell us besides, like, you know who's going to be in this BMF championship, or are you going to save that until it comes?
The next person I want to say is in line to fight for that BMF title.
That's 115. I wrestled 115.
I really gotta sit and think on it. And I think that I've made my decision. I think that Jack Graves and Briggs will probably headline the next house show for the BMF belt.
Wow. And Jack Graves has held your world gold.
Jack Graves is on the verge of breaking the record and for the longest time with the heavyweight championship. He's held it pretty much since January of not January, but like March of 2025. He won the World Heavyweight Championship, I believe, on our last PLE that we had in the new era. God, man, what an era! I hate anybody who missed that. He's held that belt since March. It's November now, so that's pushing by, I want to say, about 7 months. The record is 8 months held by Shockwave, and Jack is about to break it. But I want to make sure that he breaks it in style, because episode 3 Jack is going to defend the World Heavyweight Championship.
You have a contender in line for that as well.
Absolutely. It's a lot of people in the World Heavyweight Championship division that you could choose from. You can go from Buster Anderson. You can go from Damian Briggs. It's a lot of people. You can go Will McCain. It's a lot of ways you can go. But if I had to pick somebody for him, I would have to say Buster Anderson is the next one in line to get a shot at the heavyweight championship.
Okay.
He defeated him at the last house show. So it's a triangle right there for that heavyweight championship. You got Jack Graves, you got Buster Anderson, and you got Damian Briggs right now.
Ooh, that is going to be a banger. I think that's going to be a great closer.
Yeah, between those three guys, man, the World Heavyweight Championship is probably going to linger in there somewhere. So that'll be interesting to see how stories play out. The question is, does Jack Graves take back the BMF Championship? Because you got to remember, Jack Graves, the first guy to ever hold that belt in IPW. So is Jack going to play spoiler again, or is Damian Briggs going to spoil Jack's title opportunity the same way Jack spoiled his?
And he does currently have the BMF title. Could there be a possibility that both titles could be on the line in this triple threat?
You know what? I'm glad you spoke to me, Larry, on that. Because here's what I got for you. I don't have a triple threat. I just have a triangle. But something ran across my mind. Damian Briggs should be rewarded, man, for beating Primetime JoJo and turning back 3 days later and defeating Buster Anderson and John Robb. I feel like that should be rewarded because, if you was to ask any other superstar to do that, I don't think they could have got that done. So that puts Damian Briggs in a class of his own. So why not, man? Why not? Perhaps episode 3. Why not put both belts on the line? Winner takes all. Jack Graves versus Damian Briggs.
Hell yeah. I'm down for that. I'm going to be hyped for that. I'm excited for this.
I feel like, hey, man, one story got finished. I feel like another one has to be finished. Tyson Storm has been chasing that U.S. belt for a little bit over a year, and he finally got it done, man. It was so heartfelt for him. So I feel like Damian Briggs, he's been chasing that belt he's been chasing a big gold belt for some months now. I feel like it's about time he gets it done.
Agreed. I can't wait to see the next house show, and I hope everybody else stays tuned for that as well. Welcome, Mr. Logan Slater, who has had a few days in Japan and is going to do the last Japan show today. Stay tuned for that. Is there anything else you would like to let us know, sir?
Oh, no, man, but, I appreciate you having me, man. It's always good to come on here and, discuss what's going on.
You're always welcomed, and I'm happy you showed up. Like, it was an honor to go through this show with you, and I'll be going over the next one, and if you want to come on for that, you're welcome. Or if you ever just want to come on ever, you're always welcomed.
Hey, much love, brother, man. I appreciate you.
Much love. Thank you, JoJo. Mr. Julian Hurd, everybody. Was a true honor. Now, to get you guys, as we just went over the house show, I strongly suggest going to go check it out. It was incredible from start to finish. Special referee match Shinjo for Eddie Walker versus Pat G, where Pat G won. There was a mixed gender tag, Ivy Lowe and AJ versus Benjamin Ritchie in Psychosis, with Ivy Lowe and AJ walking out victorious. Riley versus Reina, with Riley winning. Evil Johnny versus MXG, with Evil Johnny winning. A fatal four-way, Ace Green, King Art, El Grande Filipino, Showtime Shad, and Showtime Shad won Rick Graves versus the Amazon. Amazon won. Fatal four-way, Kaiba Frost, Christina Palmer, Rose Wilson, and Haku, where Haku won. BMF Championship, the champion Damian Briggs defended against John Robb and Buster Anderson. And Damian retained the belt, and AJ Woods, the champion as the U.S. champion at the time, took on Tyson Storm in a Falls Count Anywhere. And as it was stated, Tyson Storm finished his story. Was incredible. Now, next up, we are going to go over WCCW Blue Brand Day of the Great Unholy Deed. Bishop Platinum versus Mad King, with Mad King walking out victorious. Dynamite Daisy versus MZSKG, with Dynamite Daisy walking out victorious. Ripper Ming versus Finn Jackson. That ended in a draw. I hope we get to see a clear winner next time they face off. Lilith Carter versus Pamela P. Platinum, with Lilith Carter winning. But Dawn interfered, well, did not interfere, but attacked both ladies after the match was over. What will this lead to? And to close out the show is Big Ben versus Lil Shock the Caesar, with Lil Shock Caesar walking out victorious. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, GEW Fight Club Unprotected Volume 3. Gorilla Cruz versus Magic, with Magic walking out victorious. Roxy versus Miss B Nasty, with Roxy walking out victorious. Caleb Hopkins versus Angelo King, with Caleb Hopkins walking out victorious. Bloody Five, Veronica, Amaya Bryant, The Dispatcher, Jem Jules, and Akira, with The Dispatcher walking out victorious. Miss Demon X versus Tiana Trump, with Miss Demon X walking out victorious. Bike Club Triple Crown Championship. Talos versus Bombshell versus the champion, the Monarch Shockwave, with Talos walking out the new champion. Underground World TV Championship. John Wigginton versus the champion, Tyler Jones, with John Wigginton becoming the new champion. And to kick it all off at the end of the show, it was an 8-star bloodfest. Korean Mercenary, El Padrino, Savage Vega, MC Hood, Johnny Hernandez, Zero King, TLK, Ty Thomas, Fly Guy, and Hunter Mills, with Fly Guy walking out victorious. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened there. Next up, UZPW, Universal Zone Pro Wrestling Unleashed. It was a 20 women over the top rope Royal Rumble to kick off the show. And these are the entrants in the order that they entered. OG Miss Rose, Ari, Miss Valentine Snow, Destiny Smoke, Layla, Melaine Warren, Myla Clara, Jackie Jean, Tiana Rogers, Alice the Diamond, Tia Matsuda, AJ Candy, Alexia Flores, Akane, Bertha Faye, Brittany Lex, Whitney Watts, Christina Yukamaru, Bad Girl Vanessa, and Barbara Jean, with Bad Girl Vanessa becoming the Rumble winner. Next up was a 4-way ladder match for a briefcase and a guaranteed shot for the tag titles. AJ Frost and AJ Cross versus Bad Guy Brandon and Spike Draven versus Kenny Watkins and Dexter Kawaguchi versus LUI and Leo Diamond, with Kenny Watkins and Dexter Kawaguchi, Team 360, walking out victorious. Fatal 4-way EFA versus Mikey the God, Headbutt Master, and OG Adrienne Tyson, with Mikey the God walking out victorious. Fatal 4-Way Ari, Bad Girl Vanessa, Layla, and Bertha Faye, with Ari walking out victorious. And to cap it all off for the UZPW Championship, OG ya boy, Carmelo Dickey, Jack Graves, Atticus, Mason Payne, and Bully Wayne, with Bully Wayne becoming the champion. And those are the shows I had to go over, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for IWA Christine's Chaos this Friday. I'm hoping to get a War Room in soon. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I will be live with Breaking Kayfabe's Return with one Colin Barker. If you've never checked out the stuff that he's worked up in, he works up in the UK, Scotland, Ireland scene, and DCW Dropkick Championship Wrestling, Imperial Wrestling Federation, and Alba Championship Wrestling. Go check those out. Very great companies, very great stuff. Also, stay tuned for IZW Slaughterfest, which is tomorrow as well. Stay tuned for Massacre at Midnight, brought to you by RCW. Date to be determined. Stay tuned for Christmas Breakdown for CLPW, which will be this December. Date to be announced. Stay tuned for SPW Syndicate Pro Wrestling Final Day in Japan today. Hoping that the connection works for you, Mr. Slater. There was some technical difficulties yesterday, but if you missed the other 3 shows from this Japan tour, go check them out. Very great stuff. I'm also going to be going live with the owner of TKO later today, so we can go over his recent show. And I'm hoping to go over CLPW's first shows back with the owner of CLPW. But that remains to be seen. Yeah, that's what I had to go over today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody has a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. Peace out.